Peace and love, everybody. It's Anna Renee, and I am your love power goddess coming at you all this evening. It's 6:30 here on the west coast of the United States of America. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. How are you all doing today? Let's see if this is going to work. Today, I want to send to each and every one of you all peace and prosperity and love and intelligence and knowledge and all of that good stuff there. Okay. How are you guys doing today? I know there are a lot of things going on in the world, and I suppose this is what it is and how it is. Not to be cold hearted or anything, but it's still important for us to focus on the positivity that we want to manifest and maintain in our lives. So, for that reason, I wanted to talk about a tarot deck that I think I mentioned in passing, and I didn't really give it the best mention. Did I upload that video or not where I mentioned something about this African American tarot deck? Even though I'm not a huge fan of the tarot, I feel like I should actually show it. I have the deck, and why not just sort of give it a little show and tell? For those who are fans of tarot and who may be interested in the deck, uh, just based on looking at the cards of it. So that's what I'm going to do today. Today it is the African American Tarot, and I think I'm going to do this for all the cards that I have. Just an in depth, picture by picture, card by card look at this deck, the African American Tarot. And the name on it is Jamal R Thomas Davis. Jamal R Thomas Davis. And it is a Lo Scarabeo deck. I did some research on that name and I found out that there are many decks under the name Lo Scarabeo. And I guess that's Italian for the scarab. The scarab. You see the little beetle under the Lo Scarabeo. And a scarab in ancient Egyptian culture is a very important animal, creature, having to do with life manifesting itself. So it's a very high image in the ancient Egyptian Kemetic culture. So today I wanted to talk about this deck and not so much talk about it, but just show the cards and read what it says. So what I want to do is start with the major arcana, which is always the most important, right? And just show you all who are interested in this deck the major arcana, okay? And so for you who are well versed in tarot, this is the first card of the deck. It is the Fool card. And this is what it is. You see, he's got his knapsack on his shoulder. He's got one foot just about to step over the edge of the cliff. He's got his monkey with him and a rose or some type of flower in his hand, and he's looking back. So that's the first card. And these are the backs of the cards. I believe this deck was redone. I'm not sure if this is the original backing of the cards, but I do remember seeing pictures of a deck that had a border, a red, black, and green border, which are the colors of Marcus Garvey's Pan African flag, and has been adopted by African American culture. You may hear some noise in the background. I always have a ton of noise in my background, so it is what it is. So here's the next card. I'm showing you these cards so you can make your determination on whether or not this deck might resonate with you. Card number 2. The color is very beautiful in this deck. Very colorful, very beautiful. Card number 3. She's got her owl on her finger. Very beautiful queen. Well, woman. She's got a lion on one side at his feet and an elephant on the other side at his feet, and a machete in hand. So, what card is that? That is the Emperor, Father. The one before that was the Empress, and the High Priestess, the Magician, and the Fool, of course, 0. And here is the Hierophant. The Hierophant. You see the elephant, the giraffe, and the other animals of Africa. The Hierophant. And then the Lovers. And these cards also have an extra image, not on every last one of them, but on a lot of them, that is supposed to represent African American culture in one way or the other. But anyway, those are the Lovers. And then we have the Chariot. Beautiful cards, you have to admit that much. Okay. People, I apologize for that noise down there. Okay. And then we have Strength, the warrior. He is wrestling a lion. But when you look at his face, you see he's got like 6 eyes. He's got 3 sets of eyes on his face. Of course, that represents something, I'm sure. Then we have the Hermit. Hermit. Let's see if I can get closer to you guys. And 10. What's 10 in the tarot? 10 is the wheel. Oh, okay, I see it. The wheel. Okay. Then 11, Justice. Justice. And those of you who know the tarot, you know how to look at it and see what it contains and whether you like what you see, if it's authentic or not authentic. Then we have number 12, which is the observer. Okay. And there are a bunch of eyeballs, even though the person is blindfolded. Okay. Bunch of eyeballs. And then we have death. Death. Death ancestors. That's what it says here. Then temperance. Here is temperance. It is a pretty deck. I have to reassess it. Temperance. Okay, and what's nice about it is that the imagery is African and African American. So this one is the devil. Wow, okay, the devil. The devil. Well, my people, it is Friday evening, and so things are about to heat up. And this one, the tower and corruption is what it says here. The tower, corruption, evil as well. That's what this card represents. And then the stars and the sky. And each card is got a god or goddess from African culture throughout the entire continent, so from different countries. For example, this one, the sky, has a god of the sky and the rain. Nope, looking at the wrong one. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. The stars, the sky, the god of the sky and the rain, Akuj in Kenya. What it represents is light, sensitivity, hope, spiritual awareness, harmony with oneself and others, joy of living. And the shadow is shattered hopes, lack of confidence, deceptions of the mind. So, the light and dark side of that one. And then the next one is the moon, woman. And what it says here is Mawu, female half of the creator god Mawu Liza, West Africa. The light of it is introspection, sixth sense, prophetic dreams, imagination. The shadow is illusion, self deception, non existent dangers, uneasiness. Okay. Then we have the sun and man. Lisa, male half of the creator god Mauliza of West Africa. The light is great energy, joy, enthusiasm, generosity, intelligence, helpfulness. The shadow is arrogance, pride, lack of judgment, megalomania, hyperactivity, frenzied activity. And then we have 20, which is judgment, the earth, the origins. Kaka, Gui, god of funeral rites, ferryman of souls, Ivory Coast. The light side of that is reawakening, new ideas, purification, perception, inspiration, social consent. Shadow is fear of change, refusal to make decisions, self deception, inner darkness. And then the very last of the major arcana is the world. In this one, Oduduwa, who took over from his brother Obatala the task of completing the creation by Olorun. So this is Nigeria, Yoruba, most likely. The light is satisfactory outcome of a cycle, success, completion, full self awareness, good reputation. The shadow is fear of success, envy, lack of willpower, false appearances, and incomprehension. So, those are all the major arcana for this deck, the African American Tarot. And then, of course, there are the suits. And this one goes, let's see, they have the chalices. The chalices, I just want to call it the way they call it here. The chalices, the pentacles, the wands, and the swords. Okay, so the chalices, let's show some of the cards. To the chalice. And these cards combine African and African American. So at the bottom, there's a god or goddess representing some culture. It says so in the book. And then at the top, some aspect of that's sort of in a shadow. They did it in a way that's sort of shadowy. You can't quite see it that well, but it represents some aspect of African American culture. So this is three of chalice or cups. And then this is seven. The knight, the queen, and the king, and that's the chalices. Then and my people sort of running through them right now. Look at that one though. That's a two. Two of wands. It's a lot going on in that card. I just wanted to show the deck. Why not? So this will give you an idea of what this deck actually is and whether you relate to it or resonate with it. You know, as I sort of look at it now, I think I can get a better appreciation of it. So, my people, I can't show every last one, can I? I can show a few more. I really could. Here are the coins. It's too bad that I don't do tarot, because even as I look through them like this, my appreciation is rising once again. I don't know. For a minute, I didn't, well, there was something about it that I didn't like at first, but it seems to be going away. And my appreciation is coming back. But there is definitely an energy about these cards, that's for sure. The cards do project energy. This is the card that I hated so much and kind of still do because I don't know what that thing is, that strange, ugly creature. When I saw this card, it sort of turned me off from the whole rest of the deck. That is just a horrible thing. The Five of Coins, what does that represent? Let me look that up. Why is that card so doggone ugly? Five of Coins. Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Well, the creature that is represented is Aigamusha, which is a demon man-eater of the desert in southwestern Africa. And it represents indigence, difficulty, poverty, lack, shortage, desolation. And then in the upper corner of that same card, Sojourner Truth. Ignore that creature and look at the very top. Sojourner Truth in the very top. So it's 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 not pretty, that's for sure. That creature's ugly. And six. And then look at this. Seven. Trying to outrun death or something. Running side by side with some kind of a skeleton type energy. So this is for those who know the tarot, as you look at these cards as I show them, you can tell if it's ringing true, if you can relate to it, if you can make it work, if it's got some magic for you, if it's speaking to you, you know. We can't expect everything to be beautiful. See, that's the whole point of the tarot, right? It shows the good and the bad so that you can have a true version of life and understanding of life. Oh, okay. This one at the very top. And I think these images, the African and the African American, relate with each other somewhat. At the very top, I believe that's the one with the black man who created the shoe lasting machine. I think that's the one. Let me just look it up. Nine of coins. Yeah, nine. So it teaches history from both sides, the boy and the coin filled gourds. And then, yeah, Jan Matzeliger. So that particular card represents wealth. Yeah, that is the man who created, the black man who created the shoe lasting machine, the machine that sews shoes back in those old days, like in 18 whatever. Okay. Did I show this already? Oh, no, I didn't. And of course, it might be a little shocking when you compare it to your standard, standard deck. It's going to be completely different. That's the whole point, right? You don't want it to look exactly like the standard deck, and definitely it doesn't, okay? But it's similar enough that you can grasp what it means. And then it comes with a little booklet anyway, and it's also in numerous languages, to be honest. It's in see, this is the part, this section right here is the English part. It's very compact, straight to the point. That's breaking down every card, the good and the bad, the light and the dark side of every last card. And it's also in Italian, Spanish, French, and Dutch, I believe. So that's pretty cool. So what do you guys think? What do you think? Okay. Here are the swords. That's the Ace of Swords. This card threw me off. I was talking about this card in another deck. Two of Swords, I don't know enough about the tarot anymore to know what if that's relevant or comparable to the regular tarot or, traditional tarot. Let's see if it is swords. That stands for divinity with a dual nature, Adroa and Adro, the Congo Basin. Okay. It represents balance, adaptability, heart one, harmony, dialectic, confrontation, dual. Okay. So, heart one, balance. Let's see. Here's Three of Swords. It's 4. 5. 3 inside that cheetah. Hmm. Wow, this is interesting because there's a lion in the background staring and he looks mad. That's interesting. And here is 6 of Swords. Very interesting. This one is a trippy one. So you have a baboon drinking, but he's got a mask on his on top part of his head, and the lion is looking down at it like he thinks that that's the actual face of the thing. I don't know. That means something in the Seven of Swords, right? You tarot folk know what it means. Eight of Swords. So that demon looking thing obviously must be a representation of some kind of mythology somewhere in Africa, according to this deck. Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords. The thing looks like a cross between a lion and an alligator. OMG. I mean that. The page. The knight. The queen. And the king. And that is the entire deck, my people. Well, just about. I did just about all. So, my people, what do you think? Do you like the African American tarot? The backs. The African American tarot for those of us who are tarot readers, okay? And they are nice. They feel good in the hand. They're not too big. My hands are kind of small, and these things fit in my hand. They are a little bit tall, you know. My fingers are kind of short. God, it's getting dark on me. But I could still hold the cards to shuffle them. Now that was dumb, wasn't it? But I could do that. I wanted you guys to be able to see me do it. But you can hear me do it. So I can shuffle them easy enough, and my fingers are on the short side, so they feel good in my hand. If you have to shuffle like this, they move real smooth. They don't stick. They're a little on the slippery side, as a matter of fact. At least this particular deck. Oh, look at that! The light popped up. Why did that happen? I don't know. Camera's kind of mercurial. And it just feels good. The color is very vibrant in the deck. You know what? I've changed my mind. I like this deck. What can you say? I like the deck. I like it. And so, especially like this. This card is pretty. She got flame in one hand and a skull in the other, if you can see that. All right, my people. So, Anna Renee, your love power goddess, and what I have just shown you all. Here's the little booklet written in 5 languages. Okay, is the African American Tarot, and at least this newer version of it. And the newer version does not have a border. It has a little bit of the bottom part of the border where they put the info, the card number, and stuff like that. But it used to have a red, black, and green border all the way around the entire card. So this is an updated version, I believe. And this is it. So peace and love. I'm probably going to do, in fact, I know I am going to do more of the tarot decks that I have. I have about five others, and I might as well just share what they all look like just in case someone may be interested in those decks. It's nice to have, you know, some kind of a representation of them. And a lot of times the cards that we would be interested in is not always shown like that, because other people may not have bought them or may not have even known they existed. So I'm going to show you the ones I have. All right. Peace and blessings.